You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 163. Today is July 18, 2026. Today's guest is Jessica. We will get to meet Jessica in a bit. But you guys already know. I'm sure you guys even fast forward through this shit. But I gotta do it anyways. The hotline, guys. You guys already know it's there. It's not going anywhere. 818-806-8595. You guys can give it a call. Star 67 if you want. And call it anonymous. Leave a voice message. I'll plug it into a future episode. You guys already heard a few times where I plugged in an episode, where I plugged in a voicemail into the episode. Ride With Me, Instagram, Ride With Me Podcast, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble. I haven't really posted shit on Rumble. FTA underscore podcast, and then Patreon, Flat Tire Any Podcast. You know what's funny about Patreon is that I had like one guy that donated the very first time. He wanted to donate, and since I didn't know this guy, I didn't trust giving him my like Venmo and stuff like that, right? I mean, what if this guy's gonna hack me or something? What if this guy's gonna freaking steal my shit? It's happened before, right? So I created a Patreon, and it takes 75 days for them to give you the original, like whatever donation. So there's like a quarter or something that you get it. So I got an email the other day, found like out of nowhere, hey, your money's on its way. Yeah, the $8 you took the other 12 fuckers, but yeah, your money's on its way. It's been like a week and I haven't seen shit. So I don't know how people use Patreon, but God bless you. And so if you do want to donate, Venmo FTA Podcast, no underscore FTA Podcast. And you guys already know. You guys can listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple Podcast, Amazon Alexa, and YouTube. You guys can rate on Spotify. You can follow on Spotify. Again, if you guys use other streaming services, if you guys can just at least follow on Spotify. I don't care if you delete the app after. It counts only when you follow on Spotify. You can review on Apple Podcasts. Sadly, I won't see those. And, I mean, maybe there's a way. I gotta look into that. And then, yeah, you can leave a comment. Now people have full-on conversations on your Spotify. I was like, ooh, it's becoming another social media fucking platform. No mames. So please, you guys like the episodes. You like what I do. Sometimes I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing. But yeah, you guys can follow and share. Share with your friends. If you're a guest yourself. If you yourself are a guest, share it with your friends. That'd be great. That way they can listen, they can copy, they can follow and stuff like that. They might even want to be a future guest. So yeah, have them follow. And big shout out to our sponsor, SolarX Insurance. They offer fast, friendly, and affordable coverage. Whether you ride a motorcycle or need an SR22, SolarX can help. Don't let insurance stress slow you down. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719. Or you can also check them out at www.slxinsurance.com. That's www.slxinsurance.com. So let SolarX help you get back on the road. Hit him up. My boy Juan. You guys, you see those, he's always posting pictures on his Instagram of all his employees, and they're willing to help. So give them a call. Check out their website. And on to the recap of the podcast. I'm honestly doing this because of my brother, and he's like, oh, I haven't listened in a while. Motherfucker, I'm doing the recaps because of you, cabron. But it's okay. I got used to it. So my guest, Jessica, she shares her story like every guest that comes on here and shares her story. This one was a battle of when to give up. She chose drugs over her kids for a very, very, very long time. And she, at one point, finally gave up. So I give her props for finally letting that a habit go, and and choosing her kids, because I can't speak for her. I mean, I can't speak in that. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what a person's going through, because I was never there. Like, yes, I was depressed, and yes, I was bummed out, and yes, I almost ended my life, but for some reason, I never chose drugs. So, I give her mad props. So let's give a little recap. She called her mom a normie because her mom didn't do drugs, smoked, didn't drink, anything like that. I'm like, hey, I raised my hand. I showed her, hey, me too. So I'm a normie too. Her dad was an alcoholic, drug addict. From what she heard, her parents divorced when she was only 17 months. They moved in with their grandparents, and then she met her stepdad when she was 5 years old. Moved out of grandparents, stuff like that. Mom started becoming physically abusive with her, but she worked a lot. There was a lot of mental stress going on with mama, and sadly took it out on Jessica. High school, in high school, I think she said she was 15 years old when she first smoked weed, and she loved it. And that's it. Nah. She got pregnant at 16. Right before 18, her mom forced her to get an abortion. She talks about that. At 22, at 19, I think 18, she met some dude. He ends up introducing her to meth, and then she gets pregnant again. She ends up losing a baby. I'm just going through her notes really quick. I don't want to give you guys everything, but after losing her kids, so she lost her kids already again for the third time. They gave custody to mom, and she just no matter, the only time she was clean is when she said she was incarcerated. They put her in a long-term treatment, and then she comes down to, I guess in 2021, her daughter's fiance passes away over overdose, and it's just, drugs was really a big part of her life for a very, very long time. And, she finally last year, she graduated drug court, and now she is in and out of the jail systems, helping other women, coaching them and guiding them, and pretty much sharing her story to them so they can get out of this funk that they're in. So it obviously, every story starts with a horrible opening, but there's a happy ending at the end. Her kids finally start accepting her back, and she has a relationship with her kids. Can't say some of them. She has a relationship with her kids, and she was a fun person to talk to. She was, no matter what what joke I threw at her, she accepted it. She laughed at it, even if it was at her expense. She was a real sport. Jessica, it's just a trip as she's sharing her story. Like at the timeline, I'm comparing timelines, dates and times and years. And I was like, fuck, you're going through this shit. And I was going through this other shit. Maybe mine wasn't. I told her, my drug of choice was the mother of my kids. And no matter how many times I got rid of the drug, I always went back to it. I compared that to her drug use. And, but yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. She's, like I said, she was really fun to have. She's real funny. And I hope you guys, hit her up on Instagram. I'm sure she'll give me her socials. I'm sure I'll tag the socials on her, on the post, but I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Check it out. And if you guys like it, go check out some other ones. I do have some other interesting conversations. Trust me, I'm not a professional, and I'm trying my best to do this. And I'm a one-man wrecking crew. I'm trying to get a co-host, or like someone, probably co-host to kind of help me with, as I'm talking to the guests. Maybe they're the ones taking notes or stuff like that, because I know I sound sometimes like, it sounds like sometimes I'm not paying attention to her, and I'm like, I'm or to any guest, but I'm taking notes, and then I come back, oh, okay, that's good. I'm like, the fuck did I just miss? So I apologize for that, guys. Trust me, I do get criticized. I do get feedback. I do get, hey man, you missed the ball on that one. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, see, like right now, after I record this, I have to go put it all together all by myself. So, and I better hurry up because the wife wants me to do yard work. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and reach out if you guys want to be a guest. Again, Mainly on, let's see here, I'm looking at my Instagram. Most of the people reach out to me on Instagram. Ride With Me Podcast. I think it's ride.with.me.podcast. But I think if you just punch in Ride With Me Podcast, it comes up. TikTok, FTA_podcast. And TikTok, FTA_podcast. YouTube, Rumble, like we already said, all that stuff like that. I really don't give out my emails because you can really just reach out. I'm telling you, there's a hotline. There's the Instagram and stuff like that. But I mean, if you guys really want the email, if you guys are shy, don't really want to give personal information or whatever, I mean, I guess I can give it. It's m.andres82@yahoo.com. It's just my name, m.andres82@yahoo.com. Yep, us old folks have Yahoo still. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode and talk to you guys later.
Need auto insurance or an SR22? Like now, SolarX Insurance gets you covered fast. No license, no problem. We speak your language, shop the best rates, and get you back on the road today. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719. Visit slxinsurance.com or call now 877-736-4719. Quick, easy, done. SolarX Insurance. Drive with confidence.
Good evening, Jessica. How are you doing?
I'm good, Andy. How are you?
I am hot. It is hot in here. Just letting you know, I made an exception for you because I do not record in the evening. It is hot in here, and I have a fan blowing at my legs. That the microphone is definitely catching on, but I'm hoping that I can delete it later on. But I made an exception for you because you are not anywhere nearby here. Your time zone is totally different. So, but I am jealous about your weather. Explain to us your weather.
So I'm grateful that you made the exception for me because 5 a.m. I've told my I've done something similar like this at 4 o'clock in the morning. So doing in the evening works out better for me. So thank you for that. The weather here is rain. I'm sure the farmers are happy, but we have a whole lot of rain here right now. And
us in California are very jealous. Even though they keep saying about this super El Nino, and I'm like, please stop. You guys have talked about El Super El Nino since 1997. Let it go already.
Let it go.
Yeah, they're predicting a super in California we had this really bad, horrible rain in 97, and they call it the El Nino, right? And they're predicting one to be even worse than that this coming winter season. But you guys have been talking about that for years. Let it go. It hasn't happened. It probably will happen, but not when you predict it. Watch, the one time they don't predict it, it's gonna freaking hit. Right?
Does California get flooding? Because we do.
There's certain parts of California that do. Where we are at right now in La Puente, it hasn't. Well, but we have a dam down the street, and then we have it's a San Gabriel River. So the water it's not one of those homemade, people made what do you call this, splashways or whatever, where the water goes through the man-made rivers. Nah, this is a whole nature, and it never overflows, so we're good here.
Good.
But yeah, no, we are. It is really hot right now. We're going through a heat wave, and when I was walking back here, I told my wife, "I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. It is hot." But I brought some water, so we're good. We're good.
We're gonna make it through.
We'll make it. But anyways, so Jessica here, I met her through, I believe, TikTok, like always, is where I meet all my new friends. And then from there, I asked her if she had Instagram to go on Instagram so we can chat, so we can record this episode, because it only works through Instagram, or the way I do this, through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, like kind of like FaceTime, right? And nowadays, people don't really need a phone. You don't really need a phone service anymore. You just need the internet. Boom, right? But I came across some of Jessica's videos on TikTok, and it caught my attention. Everybody asks me, your algorithm is kind of crazy because you get some crazy people, crazy stories, not crazy people, crazy stories, out of your algorithm, whatever, you know what I mean. So let's get started. Jessica, you are in, I believe you already said you're in Kentucky.
Yes.
So how is it? You were born in the 80s. That's, again, she was prepared. She gave me notes on top of notes on top of notes. I'm scrolling through like 3 different pages of just notes. So,
I'm born and raised in Kentucky.
Yeah. And, how was your childhood? How was, growing up in the 80s?
My childhood, well, I feel like it was a long time ago now, but,
Hey,
there was no cell phones.
Jessica,
no cell phones.
Jessica, real quick. Don't trip. I'm older than you.
Oh, okay. Well, we played outside a lot.
Right.
You know, we had to be outside until dinner, and if we didn't get our butts in, we got our butts whooped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, things were so different back then. Let's see, my mom, well, I call my mom a normie. You ever heard of someone being called a normie?
And to me, a normie, I mean normal, but I don't think your definition is normie. Is normal.
So my definition of a normie is my mom didn't drink alcohol. She didn't smoke cigarettes. She didn't do any drugs. She didn't, you know, she worked and she was a provider, yes. But like drugs and alcohol was never a part of her.
I'm a normie. I'm a normie.
Good, you're a normie. Good. And then versus my biological father, he was a alcoholic addict and spent most of my upbringing in prison. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, how old were you when you first went into prison? They divorced when I was 17 months old. So I would say he wasn't really in my life. And I'd say the first time he went to prison, I was probably 3, maybe. Oh wow! So,
but I don't really know. It's just what I've been told.
Oh, okay. So just all you know is that he was an alcoholic and a drug addict.
Until I got older.
Yeah. So by 17, you're 17 months old when they divorced, and then you moved in with your grandparents?
Mm-hmm. We did. My mom and I moved in with my grandparents. My grandparents were my world. They were my world. I was their grandbaby, and they just loved me to pieces. My mom was the youngest of 12 kids, so that put me being one of the younger grandkids back then. And so they were so good to me. And then, so yeah, life was really good when with them.
I was one of the oldest of 12 kids. My mom had 12 kids too.
Oh, wow.
My mom, yeah, she had 12 kids, and I'm one of the oldest. Legally, I am the oldest because my grandparents took custody of my older brother when he was born, because she was only my mom was really young when I'm saying really young for my grandparents to take custody, she was really young. So legally, I'm the oldest. And then he had no idea we were brothers until I told him. Like, my grandma was like, threw it in my face. You're the one that told him you guys were brothers. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know it was a secret. I don't know it was a secret.
I think that's why my mom, I'm an only child. And I think my mom being the youngest of 12 probably pushed her to where she was like, I'm only having one kid.
Yeah, I didn't want any. And I got stuck with 3 of them.
Yeah. My mom said that frequently. She didn't want no kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then how was it you said your grandparents were your world. I mean, how would they treat you? Like, they obviously raised you?
We were, well, practically, my mom ended up meeting my stepdad, who became my father, when I was 5. And I believe the first thing that I ever said to that man, and I've been told this story numerous times, was one of the first times, because my dad wasn't around, my mom tells me that one of the first things I ever said to him was, "Can I call you daddy?" I guess I just wanted a daddy figure. You know, I had my grandpa, but as any child wants, they want a dad.
Right.
And that was one of my first questions for him. And he became, they ended up getting married. So, and until he passed, that's who raised me. That's who I considered my dad and all the above. But so after they got married, we ended up moving out of my grandparents, and we moved, same town or whatever, but eventually we ended up getting a place, like they got a trailer or something and put it on the same property as my grandparents. So we lived directly next door, It was like a double wide or something like that, some kind of manufactured home.
The mansion ones.
Yeah. Yeah. High class living, buddy.
Yeah. You guys were the rich folks. Oh man. So you said so let me see. I mean we lived in trailer parks ourselves when we were younger. We always had like a small little trailer. I don't know how the hell my mom fit like 12 of us in a small trailer. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen attached to the living room. But when we saw the trailers, there were the really big ones. They were like 2 in 1. I'm like, those people are rich.
Yeah. We had lived in before. We had lived in a small trailer. But the one I just remember because I had a little bitty room that barely fit a bed in it, and it barely had a closet in it, and it was super tiny. I do remember that before, like we moved over by my grandparents and stuff. So, yeah. I've lived in those trailers too. Yeah. I woke up one day when my dog was barking at something, or not barking, she was growling at something, and it woke me up. I used to have like this little dachshund called, we named her Eevee after the Pokemon, because she looked like Eevee. Yeah. And she woke up she woke us up because she was growling at something. I wake up to see a possum in our kitchen. I'm like, what the hell? But it came out from under the kitchen floor. Like there was a hole in the kitchen underneath the kitchen sink. I guess we didn't even know about it. And possum in our freaking living room in our kitchen, and the dog was like, arr. I'm like, damn, Evie, get him, Evie, get him. But even she was afraid of the damn possum. Oh man. Let's see here. So it says you got mono 5th grade. Mono. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Mono. It's technically called the kissing disease. So, at that age, I don't know how you catch it. I don't know, but I was out of school for half a year. I ended up being homeschooled. I remember this lady, she would come and she would teach me at home. It was weird. The whole thing about it was weird. I couldn't go to school because it's highly contagious. And all I could picture is I've got the kissing disease, and I hadn't kissed nobody. And they're telling me that you have the kissing disease, and how is that possible? And I had never kissed a boy, so it made me feel, some kind of way, like apart from different. So going back into school, it was like I just felt I can remember feeling apart from other kids, because during that time I couldn't hang out with no kids. It was like 6 months. I couldn't hang out with any other kids. I couldn't do anything but stay at home and be taught by a teacher that was willing to come and teach. And I had already, as a child felt different anyway. I had really big curly red hair. And at a young age, I remember from a young age, just not feeling, I don't know, just feeling different, if that makes any sense.
Just different as in like, just personality or appearances?
No, like the, I guess different because the love that I got was from my grandparents, and I don't know how to really explain it. I guess it would just be, I just felt different as a kid.
Pretty much like an empty feeling because dad wasn't in the picture.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, it said for middle school you got in middle school you got bad grades.
Middle school I got good grades.
Oh, good grades.
They weren't
My bad. I'm reading this wrong.
No, it's okay. I had got good grades in school, in middle school, but in middle school is where things started to shift a little bit. Kids were mean. I had big curly red hair. Kids are mean at that age. I didn't wear the nice clothes. Again, being an only child, I wasn't very sociable, but I was, but not really.
So let me see here. I paused because I wasn't sure if you were going to continue going. So you said at one. So was it in middle school when your mom started getting physical?
Yes.
I'm only going based on bullet points.
Yeah. So my mom worked a lot. My mom worked a whole lot, and there would be times whenever, and even it may have been before middle school. I was young. I wouldn't know what kind of mood she was gonna come home in, and I would hide in my closet until I knew this bus was gonna be there, and then I'd run out to the school bus and go to school. My mom has found God, and she's a lot different today, but my childhood was really, really tough with her. But I believe that I try to shift my brain to, she was the youngest of 12 kids. A majority of them was boys. Maybe it was just she was raised rough. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what she knew. But I don't know that. Because I love my mom. I love her. I'm really grateful for her. I just want to say that. But there was a long, rocky road with me and my mom. A long, rocky, hard road with me and her.
You okay? Okay. I'm just going based on the bullet points you gave me.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay. So, I mean, I just want to, I don't want to dig in much into that, because just the little bit that you shared, it looks like you're choking up. But, so I don't want to get into more details with your mama. But in high school, talk about high school then. It says high school.
So going into high school is where things started to transpire, right? So I'm going to have to talk about my mom a little more.
Okay.
So, I'm okay. I get emotional. I tell my story frequently, and there's certain parts that I do get emotional, but it's okay because feeling my feelings is good for me.
Yeah.
So going into high school, I ended up being in choir, and my mom had taken a fly swatter. Okay, you know how you have the swatter part and then you have the wire part.
Yeah.
She'd beat the shit out of me with the wire part. Whelps everywhere. You know what I mean? And I was in choir one day. A girl behind me seen it, and they ended up getting the guidance counselor. I had to go to the guidance counselor. And then, of course they called CPS. Nothing ever came about it. I just remember when I didn't want to go home I didn't want to go home that day.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to tell. I was never going to tell, hey, my mom's abusive, but, so I remember going to the girl's house up the road when I got out of school that day, and, when I did go home, I was scared. I was scared to go home. I didn't want her to get in any trouble. I would never want, But that was just the beginning. And I'm not proud to say this, but me and my mom ended up having several, there come a point where it became physical from my end too. Because I got tired of it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not talking to somebody that had the best relationship with his mom. So trust me, you are hitting triggers. You're hitting memories. But this is your story, and I don't want to mention any of mine. But yeah, no. I got hit with the freaking the cord of the iron. I got hit with the broom, and they broke it on my back, and then told me go buy another one. And I was little. Got my nose bit. Yeah, I got pretty whipped. I got my ass handed to me too. So don't think you were the only person ever got hit with the. I don't think we believed in fly swatters back then. So I never got hit with one of those. So that's a new one. But yeah, I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, recently, that even though, like, as a kid we got beat bad, that a lot of millennials got hit really bad, that they do like the gentle parenting nowadays, and a lot of these kids nowadays are little pains in the ass because they were a gentle parent. I still spank my kids. I still spanked them even though it hurt me, but they still got spanked, but it was never with an object. It was always with an open hand. And, the last time I spanked my youngest, I think he was like, I think he was like 13, 14. He was maybe like 13. Yeah. He was being a little shit, and he locked my wife out of the house. So I worked in the area. So, I ended up pulling up to the house, and he saw me. Like, I'm sorry to my listeners. You guys heard the story before. Jessica hasn't. And he sees me walk in. He's, "Hi, Dad." And he's like all happy. He sees his dad. And then he realizes, holy shit. He looks at the clock, and he realizes it's not 2:00. It's 12. I am home early. So then he, like, in slow motion, starts to look back at me. How many? He already knew he was getting spanked.
He knew it was coming.
So I spanked him. I know that I should have probably got arrested for how many times I spanked him, but I got home from work that day, and he was like, "Dad, that was the best 3-hour nap of my life." Never had to spank any of my kids again, and now they suffer from respecting others.
Yep.
So, yeah, but I've never ever thought of. I've scared them with, like, "I'm gonna go grab the belt," and they're like, we all know you're not gonna grab the belt. Fuck, they're right.
Yeah, and they're right.
They're right. I'm not gonna get the belt.
Yep. Yep. Same.
So, and honestly, I'm not proud of it, but I mean, I also hit my mom, so not proud of that moment, but yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh yeah.
It sucks.
It's like, I'm coming to get my car. She's not letting me get my car, and it's my car. I bought this car. She's grabbing onto the freaking door, like trying to hold the door down. I'm like, "The fuck, you're gonna fuck up my car?" And she's not a small lady. She's not a small lady. She's a big lady. And to get her off my car, I hit her, and not proud of it. And have apologized to her, but she won't let it go. When every time she gets a chance, she throws it in my face. So I am done apologizing.
Right.
I am done apologizing. But
absolutely.
Yeah. So, I guess back to you. I don't want you to cry again.
I'm gonna cry. I'm just know, and like my people on TikTok and people in my real life, people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a crybaby because
it's just when you cry, I'm like, well, fair on Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, I can't give you. It's okay. I can't give you a hug. Like, I feel so bad.
Just wait. There's more.
But wait, there's more.
So yeah.
Alrighty then.
Let's see. So that we're up to what?
The last thing you said was that you and your mom got physical.
Mhm. And at that time, I had my stepdad, him and my uncles and stuff would drink on the weekends. And I remember me and my cousin, we would be their little beer runners. So like they were sitting there getting drunk, and me and my cousin, we would be "Hey Jesse, go get me a beer," or "Hey Angie, go get me a beer." So we to go get beer for them, and on the way back to them, that's my first experience, like drinking. Like when I was younger, I would taste it. It was disgusting.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at 15, that was my first time experimenting with drugs. my neighbor, she was like, I think she knew that I was going through it. You know what I mean? She was like, hey, I got something for you. And I can remember it. We walked down the road to the little bridge, and first time I ever smoked marijuana was when I was 15. And then I remember it making me not feel, you know what I mean? Like, all my worries were swept away because marijuana, if you've never experienced drugs and alcohol, which is a beautiful thing, that's something to be really proud of. It made all the hurt that I'd been feeling from all the things that me and my mom had been doing, you know what I mean? But I probably need to go back. My nanny, my grandma, she passed when I was 13. We took care of my grandparents till the day they passed away. We ended up moving back in with them. This is probably a pretty pivotal point on when things started to change. And my granddaddy passed at 14. I'm pretty sure he died from a broken heart. And so then, here comes me at 15. Drugs and alcohol started to move its way in. Cause when they passed away, that did something to our family. We had family reunions up until that point. Family had gotten together, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. And then when my grandparents passed away, family reunions stopped and things like that. It was like they were the glue. They were the glue.
That happens everywhere. When my wife's grandmother passed away, those massive family gatherings that they took, those ended. I can't say that from our own family because my grandma lived in El Paso, so we never we never got together on Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So yeah, I say that for my wife's family that once the grandmother passed away, sadly to say it, but the people that keep families together are the ones passing away.
Yep. So, and not only did that change the family dynamic, it changed, like, my mom was already a mean little lady. Mom went, like, deeper with, like, what I would consider would be her mental health, depression, sadness,
right?
You know, grief. And I'm young, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know these things as what it could be. I just turned to drugs and alcohol and boys. So at 15, I end up meeting my oldest daughter's dad. He's 7 years older than me, which I would beat the fuck out of my kids if they got with somebody that much older at 15. Okay, let's just make that clear. I wouldn't just whoop them. I'd whoop the boy, whoever. You know, especially if it was one of my daughters. I have 2 daughters, so...
I'm laughing. I'm sorry, but I'm laughing because we went to go hang out with some cousins at last Memorial Day, not this last Memorial Day, and they were giving my boys advice if you like to first to they're young, they don't have girlfriends, to be able to really experience, start dating a 40-year-old at first. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of advice are you giving them, bro? My wife's like, oh, hells no. And then he's having this conversation with my boys in front of my wife. My wife's like, oh, hells no. You guys are not. So every time, my youngest is the clown of the house, of the family now. Whenever he sees like an attractive woman, like at the store or whatever, say, hey mom, you think she's 40? Like, what the fuck?
That is so funny.
Oh,
that is so funny.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Back to, I think you met your oldest, baby daddy?
Yes, my oldest baby daddy. And like we became really inseparable. I was like, always wanted to be there. It was a safe space away from my mom's house. You know, there was no physical, nothing.
Yeah.
But the thing was he was an alcoholic. He was a full-blown alcoholic. I'd be damned if I'm ever going to be with an alcoholic. You know, that was my mentality.
Right.
I didn't know that I had something way bigger transpiring in my own life. We were together, and we spent a lot of time together. I ended up pregnant at 16 and have my first child at 17. And as I'm in labor at the hospital, I call him. I was looking back on how I was a rude little bitch for a long time. I just remember calling him from the hospital. I'm in labor. I don't want you here. I'm breaking up with you. What? You know, in the hospital giving birth to my oldest daughter at 17 years old.
Because he was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mind you, I'd been drinking on the weekends. I had been smoking marijuana. But I can't be with someone that drinks all the time. You know what I mean? That just shows the immaturity level where I was. I see. You know what I mean? Back then.
Hypocrite. Oh, sorry.
I thought I wanted something more. Or I wanted something better.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell life was about. I didn't know anything about life.
Yeah. You missed my hypocrite joke. That's what happened right there when I was trying to cough. Hypocrite.
Period. That's what I was. Yes, thank you. Call me on my shit. Yes, that's what it was. So, I have a beautiful baby girl. And I knew that I wanted to give her love that I didn't know per se.
Right.
I end up getting pregnant again before I turn 18, and I'm living at my mom's, under my mom's roof.
Same guy? No, right? Because you broke up with him.
Broke up with him. Maybe I become a little scuzzy hussy. I don't know. You know, I just end up pregnant again, and it was before my 18th birthday, and my mom was like, "You're not having another kid." What? My mom drives me to Memphis, Tennessee, to an abortion clinic. People are holding signs out in the front. Worst experience of my life. It was horrible. I don't believe in abortions. Was I ready for another child? Absolutely not. You know, but that was a horrible experience at not even 18 years old. It changed me, pretty good.
You went through with the abortion?
Mm-hmm. My mom told me I had to.
Oh, man. Ouch.
Yeah. I'm crying going into the building. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen an abortion clinic.
Sadly, I have.
There's people out front with signs, like protesters.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking around like,
when you're a kid and your mom tells you she has a doctor's appointment at this clinic, and back then you can stay in the car, who gives a shit, right? Give me my Game Boy and I'm sitting in the car for an hour. And then as you're an adult driving in your own car, driving to the same buildings and the same buildings, you come to a realization that that's a fucking abortion clinic. And then now you have Google, so you Google it. How long has this building been here for? Yeah, trust me, I've waited outside those fucking buildings for a couple times. Those suck.
Yeah, it sucked. 10 out of 10, it sucked. It was horrible, a horrible experience. By this time, I had made some new friends. These new friends, did cocaine. So I graduated from just weed to cocaine, and I have a child at home, you know. I was working, trying to be a good mom, that what I knew between the ages of 17 and 18, right? Like, when I turned 18, I moved out of my mom's. I moved out. Because right before this happened, me and my mom, I had my daughter in my arms. She was little. And my mom went to swing at me with my baby in my arms. That's when, you know, one of those times where I freaked out. Blooped all the way out. Put my baby down and, you know, Didn't care. I'm not proud of that. I really, the fact, when going back to the physical part of like with my mom, I'm not proud of that. It sucks. But at 18, I did move out. Actually, I think it was right before I turned 18. I moved in with a good friend of mine that I've been friends with all throughout elementary school, middle school, high school. I moved in with her and her mom, and then at 18, I got my own place.
You said your own place, and then you got your own place first, and then you met somebody named it's on your notes. I want to say it. Okay. And then at 19, you moved in, or he moved in?
So, Kendrick was my 18th birthday present. I just, I got real drunk on my birthday. Like, had a one night stand. He was friends with my cousin. Me and my cousin, Angie, was always like a sister to me instead of a cousin. And, she's a big part of my story. But her husband, that was his good friend, and I thought he just was the cutest guy ever. I didn't see him for a year after that, and at 19, we got together. Like, we were, by this time I had tried what became my drug of choice, which was methamphetamine.
Oof.
If you would have asked me now, at 19, if I would have known trying meth would have led to 20 years of hell, I would have told you were lying. You know what I mean? We're just having fun.
Yeah.
We're just having fun.
And then, okay, it says at 20 you moved. Oh, he had kids himself?
Yeah, he did. He had a daughter and a son from a previous marriage. And he had always, like, from the moment we got together, he always talked about wanting to be their dad and da-da-da. So I'm like, well, let's just move him in. You know? At this point, I'm being a good mother-ish. You know, drugs were becoming, they were in my life, but they weren't I was using, but my addiction didn't start full throttle till after 21. So we moved his kids in it when I was 20. So Kaylee, Chloe, Tristan, and I end up pregnant. I have a little boy on February 25th of 2005. He was a sweet, sweet baby. He passed away June 18th of 2005 from SIDS. That's when I say my addiction began. Like, I was a social user before that. You know what I mean? Like, and me and Kendrick, we were doing whatever, but like, that is what I turned to numb out all the pain that I didn't know what to do with.
So it got worse then. Meth got worse.
Meth got way worse. But it only progressively got even worse.
So the next bullet point, I'm sorry if I laughed. That's not my intention. It's just your next bullet point kind of made me laugh.
Okay, tell me it.
It says, as I'm burying my son, I find out I'm pregnant again.
Yeah. True. So I'm burying, we bury Brendan. And I find out I'm pregnant with Kirsten. I did not want to be pregnant. I did not want to have a child. I wasn't even okay after losing my son. You know what I mean? Wasn't okay. I still can remember the day of my son's passing like it happened this morning. 21 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That morning was very traumatic for me. Like he had stayed up till 4:30 in the morning, and he finally went to sleep. And by 6:30 a.m., my cousin Angie was bringing her kids over to me, to babysit that day. And I remember telling Kendrick, I'm like, "Hey, it's your turn. It's your turn." You know, he kept me up all night. And when he got up, he said, "Don't you dare get your ass out of that bed. What's any mama gonna do? Or dad, or whoever. Get up out of that bed." Right? And he was purple down one side of his body. I just remember yanking my cousin. She's a bigger girl. I took her like this, and I was like, "Call 911. The coroner knew me." That whole day was really traumatic. And I used that as a crutch for a long time to stay high on drugs. Yeah. You don't know that pain. You don't know what I've been through.
I have it's not a fear, but I have an issue with holding babies. To me, it's like once they're over a year old, then okay. But my mom had a friend that also had a bunch of kids, and we all became friends and stuff like that. And she had a baby. She brought the baby home, and I held that baby. I was like 16 years old. I held that baby, and then find out the next morning the mom was also on drugs. So found out the next morning that the baby had passed away. And ever since then, me knowing that I had held that baby, I'm not saying I'm responsible for that, but ever since then, I've always felt like I'm a big guy and they're not strong enough for me to hold them. So, nope. Like even my nieces and nephews, people like the family makes fun of me. Andy, here, like they're trying to hand me a baby, and then it's like, no, I don't want to. I'm okay. I'll hug you when you're a year old. And so when I actually do carry a baby, everyone's with their phones. I'm like, oh, come on, because like I said, I have an issue with, and I mean I'm scared. I guess I'm scared, but yeah. Ever since then, I was 16 years old. Find out that the baby you were just holding the day before it passed away. And then I'm assuming something similar as your son, but I'm sorry. Well, you see here, you were bearing your son, found out you're pregnant, and then I forgot.
Okay, so he passed away. He passed away June 18th of 2005. Yep. She was born February 9th of 2006. I used methamphetamine the whole time I was pregnant with her. Am I proud of that? Fucking makes me sick to my stomach. Because clean and sober, Jessica, the good mother, the good person that I know that I am. I would never, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought when my son passed away that was my karma for having that abortion. Oh, you just gonna take a baby out of your belly and get rid of it? I'll show you. I'll let you have one. And so therefore, there came my anger with God. Like, if there was a God, he can.
Need auto insurance or an SR22? Like now, SolarX Insurance gets you covered fast. No license, no problem. We speak your language, shop the best rates, and get you back on the road today. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719. Visit slxinsurance.com or call now 877-736-4719. Quick, easy, done. SolarX Insurance. Drive with confidence.
You know, everything was everybody's fault but my own. You know?
Let's see here. So then Kendrick gets arrested?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So she was born February 9th of 2006. So we have a newborn at home. Had just lost our son. I just lost the baby. I had a 2, 3, and 4-year-old at home with a newborn after losing Brendan to SIDS. And on February 24th, Kendrick decides he needs to go manufacture methamphetamine. Our son would have been a year old the next morning. You know, I'm grieving bad. And I'm like, you don't have to go nowhere. We had drugs. We had drugs. You know what I mean? I hate that makes me this is my story, this is where I was. He didn't need to go anywhere. I already knew the next morning was going to be hard. And I woke up the next morning on February 25th of 2006. And, he wasn't at home. And I'm like, I asked the kids, I'm like, did your daddy come home last night? And they're like, we haven't seen him. And, he had went to jail. And he ended up in prison. 2006 was the start to a downward spiral for me. Because up until that point, yes, was I using drugs? Yes. Did that make me a terrible mom? Didn't make me a perfect mom. It made me but I was taking care of the kids. I was doing the best that I could with what I knew how to. And after he went to prison, like the downward spiral began.
So you ended up sending the kids to your grandparents' house? Wait,
so I sent his kids, his kids went to his dad's. My oldest went to my mom and dad's, but I kept Kirsten because she was the baby at home with me as long as I could. But I was still in the house where our son had passed. You know what I mean? So a lot of feelings were attached to that. There was so I ended up moving, and I eventually just started going further and further down, to where drugs started becoming more important than me being a mother. 2007, I tried the needle for the first time. I had never done it up until that point. I really despised that type of using. If you used a needle, I thought I was better than, because I didn't do it that way until I become that addict. 2007 sucked.
Yeah,
2007 sucked.
2007 sucked for me too. Trust me. But let's see here. It says you started selling meth, and then CPS got involved.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd even before that, like Kendrick, he sold meth. You know what I mean? I was just kind of the old lady. I was the old lady.
The old lady.
But then when he went to prison, I had to continue on somehow.
Right.
Yes, my first bout with CPS was in 2007. I also got raped in 2007. I ended up pregnant. From the rape, I have a 18-year-old who's product of a rape. I had willingly that year had sex with 2 other men. They both had paternity tests, and neither of them were the father. So that's how I determined the pregnancy was from the rape.
Oh man.
My son is amazing. He's 18. He's a cool kid. I'm glad that no matter what, I wasn't gonna have another fucking abortion.
No, yeah,
I don't care.
100%. Don't yell at me.
You know what I mean?
Don't yell at me.
So, he was born February 29th of 2008, but in 2007, I caught my first case, and that's where I found out, I was pregnant. I was in jail for 2 months, and then 2 months after I got out, of jail, I had him. So I was pretty far along before I even knew I was pregnant. Thank God I went to jail because I stopped using.
Yeah. Things happen for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
he's...
No, go for it. Go for it. I was just... When you pause, I'm thinking of reading another question, another bullet point, but go for it.
So in 2008, he's born. I just want to be a mom. I just want to do right. I stayed sober for a little bit, mainly because I did not like jail at that time. You know, I didn't like jail, and I wanted to be my kids, but for several years, I always turned back to the drugs. Because, and I know now why. But, so, I get a place, I'm working, I'm doing good, I'm clean and sober. Kendrick gets out of prison. Me and him get back together. What we do when we get together, we use.
Yeah.
You're
right. You're right. But wait, there's more.
So, I had gotten probation from the first case that I'd had. My first charges, criminal charges, was possession of anhydrous ammonia with intent to manufacture. My first criminal case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was not making good decisions. So I ended up getting drug tested. They came in my house and drug tested me, and I failed, so I went back to jail in 2009. 2 months later, they let me enter into drug court. Went into drug court in 2009. That program, it taught me a lot of things. I got back up on my feet. I wasn't with Kendrick during that time. I completed drug court in 2011. I'd worked really hard, got another home, got the kids. The kids came back home to me. I was doing well. I was staying sober, was working. But what I wasn't doing was all the things that they taught me to do when I graduated. Like, I don't need that stuff. I can handle this on my own. I'm strong. Me and Kendrick get back together. By the end of that was in 2011. I graduated. By 2012, I catch another case. Just simple possessions this time. But I go back to jail. I had to wait for parole this time. I made parole with completion of SAP, which is Substance Abuse Program, in 2013, which entered me my first time into a long-term treatment.
And in 2013, you get your kids taken away again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for good. For good. They didn't know what to do with me anymore. They had been in and out of the court with them, in and out of family court. They give them back to me, and just to take them right back from me.
Yeah.
Every time they were taking it, made me feel like more and more of a failure. But all I had to do was stop using drugs. Huh, what? All I had to do.
That easy.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, I'm not joking when she gave me a shitload of bullet points, just saying. I am not joking. And she is not lying when, wait, there's more. So you said after losing the kids, getting them back a third time, mom ended up with custody. Your mom ended up with custody?
Yeah, they went to foster care for a little bit. They went to foster care for 30 days before that, and I got them right back home with me in 30 days. And then they had to take them again because I wouldn't stop getting high. And so when they did, they're like, Jessica, we don't know what else to do. You know, we have to think of the safety of your children. Just because they're fed, bathed, and going to school, and they have their basic needs met, and you know, all that, you're still using drugs.
Right.
And I'm glad they did. Because thinking back on it, I was a present mom, but I wasn't there fully at full capacity, being a meth user, you know.
Physically present, but not mentally present.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
2015, moved into a new town.
I went to treatment, on the, my first time in treatment long term. And so I completed that program. I stayed in Peer Mentored. I signed on for 3 extra months. And so I just moved to that town. I just stayed there, but then, so 2014, I had graduated, I moved in the apartments next door to the treatment center. I was trying to do something different. And I'd started a job. Well, they needed a manager at a different location, which was closer to my kids. So I just packed up a U-Haul and I took off. Didn't know a soul in that town. But what I've learned is anywhere I go, I take me with me.
I see your quote right there. I take me with me. It took me with me.
Take me with me.
But it says wasn't long enough till you started selling again.
Yep. It didn't take long. I always pick if I'm putting drugs in my body, I'm selling them. That's what I turn to. I turn to selling, and it's always methamphetamine. Yep. Started selling again.
You never seen the movie Scarface? You're not supposed to get high in your own supply.
I know.
You know what the beautiful part about this conversation is that you can sit here and laugh about it. And
absolutely.
And that's, you know what, a lot of people that have been through bullshit and drama and life like yours is that it's true. When they say one day we'll look back and laugh at this, and even though you were just teary eyes earlier, no matter what joke I throw in there, you laugh at it. You're laughing. I'm pretty much laughing at your expense, and you are taking it like a champ. And I mean, only because I'm seeing you laugh. So again,
I've been a long way.
Yeah. So again, okay, it wasn't long till you started selling again, and then let's see here, something about meeting Trey. Oh, her earpiece fell off real quick. See, I'm making her laugh so much that her earpiece fell out of her ear.
Yeah, Trey, fuck him.
Damn.
Sorry. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, fuck you, Trey. Fuck you.
Fuck you. So me and Trey, how this came about was, we met somehow, and like we were together almost 2 years. And at first I was his supplier. Like I sold him drugs. And then we ended up getting together. And the whole time we were together, he was a really bad. He was a sex addict. So no matter how much sex we may have been having, little whatever, he still was with multiple. Like when I say multiple, I mean like 50 to 100.
Damn.
Different women.
Oh wow.
Slime bag. And I just kept. There was a time where I tried to leave him, and I had all my shit because I ended up moving out of my house and moving in with him. And he wouldn't let me leave. He's like, "You're not leaving me." Yes, I am. And I just, my self-worth was shot to hell, is what it boils down to. My self-worth was diminished. And I was accepting really piss poor things I was accepting things I should have never accepted. Not means I've never been a perfect person, by no means, but just thinking back on it, disgusting. It disgusts me. We end up catching a case together because he was cheating, and I threw his shoes outside of where we lived, and the cops came, and I ended up going to jail. And the whole time that all this was happening, he was telling his attorney that it was everything was, he was trying to put the whole case on me. One thing I've always been is I can fess up to my part, but motherfucker, you better fess up to your part too.
You know what? You know what? I've been saying that I've been saying that lately. I lose my shit when people, if it's both our fault, say that it's both our fault. Don't fucking just put it all on me. And I lose my shit when You're just trying to blame me.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like something so simple of miscommunication, I'm like, it's both our miscommunication. Why are you only blaming it on me? So I lose my shit. Fuck you, Trey.
Yep.
No.
Fuck you, Trey. So yeah.
What ended up happening with that? Like, you ended up domestic violence?
So
case?
no, I ended up getting charged with manufacturing methamphetamine that day.
Oh shit.
So when the cops were there, they were like, when's the last time you manufactured? I said, methamphetamine? Why? Then they thought we were manufacturing. We weren't. I said, 2012. Why? And that was the truth.
Right.
I have not, and I'm proud of that today. It's 2026 and I have not manufactured methamphetamine since 2012. And I'm fucking proud of that. That was a monster in itself. Okay. Didn't mean I didn't sell the hell out of drugs. I'm sorry. But I have not done that. So we get charged with manufacturing, and I was facing 23 years. The day of final sentencing for that case, because I wasn't manufacturing. Truthfully, that's the God's honest truth. There was no manufacturing going on. And so the day of final sentencing, they dropped the manufacturing to where I only ended up with 13 years instead of 23, for the state of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Because
at this point, my kids are with my parents. You know what I mean? Like, I had been getting them on weekends, some breaks, but they were there. So I'm just diving deeper into recklessness.
Yeah.
Is what I'm doing. Instead of saying, oh, let me get sober and do things the right way. No, I dive deeper.
Right. Did your stepdad's passing help with just going in deeper? I see your notes here. Your stepdad died.
2016. He did. And so I remember going there. I have a stepbrother, and he looked at me and he said, I can't believe you're fucking here. My kids, that morning, they called me, Papa's dead. And do you know how long it took me to get there because I was too busy getting high? Because I didn't want to go face what I needed to face. It's really fucking sad. I hate the disease of addiction today. I hate it. I hate it. I ended up, him passing sucked. He was the man that would always say, Sissy, why don't you just smoke weed? Can't you just leave the hard stuff alone?
Yeah.
You know, he was the voice of reason to where nobody else ever said that to me. There was never nobody in all these years that'd be like, hey, Jess, you think you got a problem? Unless it was law enforcement.
Yeah.
Probation and parole. Drug court. There was never nobody that said, hey, maybe you need some help. Nobody spoke those words to me except for my stepdad.
Right.
And another vital important thing that I forgot to mention was when I turned 19, my real father I found out that my real dad, we become friends. He did drugs. I like drugs. And from the age of 19 on, I had a relationship with my real dad.
And did we just become best friends?
That was we're best friends. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah. Let's see here.
I ended up doing 14 months locked up, and I wrote the judge because I had completed that long term. I ended up doing 14 months locked up, and I wrote him a 10-page letter asking him if I could go to treatment, and he ended up letting me go back to that same treatment in 2019.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2019 long-term treatment, and then 2020 real dad passes away now.
While I'm in treatment. Like while I'm in treatment. So I got to experience his passing. That I was in phase 2, so I could leave for 4 days at a time, go back for 3. And they were real supportive. So I got to my mom ended up moving my real dad in. And, into her house. And so the morning he passed, I stayed up with him almost all night. It was like, I don't know, what time it was, but by 6:37, I went in there and he had passed. But I was sober. I was clean and sober when he passed, so I was present. I was present.
Right.
I know that my mom always loved him, regardless if she was with my stepdad for all those years. My mom always loved my real dad. He just was reckless. He ended up getting cancer, and that's how he passed. And it took him quick.
Ay. And then, so after that, after your treatment, you moved back in with your mom?
Yeah, it had been the first time that I moved in with my mother in years, but I wanted to be with my kids. That's the thing with me. That's all I've ever wanted from the time I ever lost them. I just want to be a good mom. I just want to be with them. Quit taking them from me. Oh, bitch, cookie and I. So yeah, I moved in with mom, which was our relationship, mine and my mom's relationship, has always been real rocky. So, but things were okay. I'd gotten a job. I was being a mom. I was being a daughter. And then, because after being gone 24 months, probation and parole still had me do 6 months of SAP aftercare, which they're like, this bitch is going to relapse. She's going to relapse. And I did. How? Why? Why?
It's like they knew.
I wasn't happy. I still didn't love myself. Still didn't know how to love myself. So therefore, I didn't know how to love others.
And then 2021 says your daughter's fiance passed away
from an accidental overdose. May 12th of 21. My daughter called me. She had went to work that night. She worked midnights at Walmart. She called me. She was like, "Mom, Hunter's not answering the phone or the door. We just live right down the road." And the guy, Sebastian, was there to carpool with him. And, she said, "Can you just go check?" "Yeah, honey, I'll go." So I flew over there. And by the time I got there, Sebastian, the door was unlocked. He had opened up, found Hunter passed away. When I got there, the whole sheriff's department was there. And I'm like, mind you, I'd been up all night because I'm using. So I'm like, ugh!
Yeah, her face. I'm sorry. I'm not recording video, but her face was funny.
And my daughter's dog's just running around in the parking lot, and I get out of my vehicle, and I'm like, come here, Rocky. And I put Rocky in my truck. They're like, ma'am. I said, where the fuck is Hunter? Because see, I've never really been real until now. Like, I've calmed down with my words and used my words a little nicer today. I'm like, to the police, where the fuck is Hunter? They're like, ma'am, who are you? I'm like, where is he? My daughter lives here. And he had gotten a pill that was pressed with fentanyl, and it killed him that night. So I had to talk to my daughter on the phone, her coming home, a 30-minute drive home, trying to keep her calm and not tell her that her fiance was passed away.
Ah, man.
Then I watched my daughter slowly deteriorate. My daughter's real small, real petite, beautiful girl. And she got down to about 70 pounds, lifeless when he passed away. It was really sad. It was sad. It was sad.
2022 says you wrote down miserable and then pray to God.
This is where my life starts to make sense. This is where the good shit starts happening. So I'm miserable in April of 22. I am, I have the perfect opportunity. I'm living at home, but me and my mom had gotten into it. I got my shit and I'm like, I'm fucking leaving here. I was staying with a girl, in the county where I was working, and I remember I had to report to probation and parole on 4/20 of 22. I stopped at Walmart. Bought me one of those at-home drug tests to see what I was gonna feel for. And something told me on the way there. I just pitched that drug test in the back. I'm like, please just let them drug test me. You know, I don't even care at this point. I want to be drug tested because I'm not going to stop doing drugs on my own. So I go to probation and parole. He pretty much pats me on the back and tells me I'm doing a good job. All while I'm like, from the inside, I'm screaming, help me. But I would never ever say, hey, I'm high. Can you help me?
Yeah.
That's too easy, right? That's too easy. So I leave there, and when I walk out the front door of probation and parole, tears start running down my face. And I'm like, it's not over. It's not over. I had tools. I knew I could go to treatment. I could do this. I could go to a meeting. I could do something, but I've never been one to stop using on my own. It's always taken handcuffs and felonies every time.
Right.
So I go over to this restaurant. It's piss pouring rain. I would have liked to, you know, those people that record people that are fucked up and they post it on social media. I wish somebody would have been recording me that day in that restaurant. I was snot-nosed, crying. You know what I mean? Like when I went in there to get my plate of food, it was a buffet, Chinese. And I know that I had to look like death walking, right? Walking death. And, I go back out to the car and, for the first time in my life, I pled out to God, please help me or just let me die. Even through my son's passing, even through all the trauma, all the hurt, all the reckless shit I was doing, I had never come to the point where I wanted to die until that day. And, God's timing is impeccable. I left that restaurant after I ate. I got high, of course, because what's any addict gonna do? They're gonna use. I went and did I spent a bunch of money. Spending money wasn't making me happy. I went back to that girl, my friend's house. Did you hear that? My battery is low.
Uh-oh. I didn't hear it.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make this fairly fast. I go back up there. I go to sleep at like the next morning sometime. I get up for work that day. I had to be at work by 3 p.m. Go to work. And when I get off work that night, I get pulled over. I was on 421 of 22. My sobriety date is 422 of 22.
You're one day before.
Hmm?
Well, you're one day before.
I got arrested the day before.
Yeah.
On the 21st. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Let's see here. And then you said, oh shit. So then you said your first grandbaby was born on the 29th?
As I'm incarcerated. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep. I remember the night I got arrested, I pleaded with cop, can we please, you can enhance the charges. You can do anything you want. Can we do this on another night? Knowing that is not how shit works.
Right. Rain check on this.
Can we? Yes. And so I had to see the first 8 months of her, through a kiosk, she was sending my friend pictures and my friend was sending those pictures to me because my daughter was pissed at me. And she should have been.
Yeah.
She was pissed. They were all pissed. All my kids. They were all like, because my charges, guess what my charges were? For the second time. Trafficking meth.
Wait, what? Oh, shit. So they're getting you for trafficking when you haven't done it since 2012. Did you have a lot?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Manufacturing. You're right. My bad.
Yeah. I was selling drugs. I sold meth, and I admit that today because that's part of my story. I don't glorify it. It's disgusting, but once you get going and the money starts coming, it does the power trip, all the things. I always go right back to it. I don't know, but yes, my kids were pissed.
If I was your friend back then, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
Well,
I wish one of my friends would have said, "Hey, quit doing dumb shit."
Yeah. The only, like, back then I did have a couple friends that told me, like, if you continue, like, my drug was going back and forth to the mother of my kids. That was my drug. Going back to her after every time she cheated, every time. There I go back. Yeah, that was my drug. And I had friends that told me, like, if you go back, after she cheated on you with your own brother, if you go back, we're cutting you. So, yeah, no, I finally one day was like, because it wasn't doing me any good. Like you said, your daughter lost a lot of weight, right? My friend, one of my friends was like, dude, it looks like you just got out of jail. That's how skinny I am. Because I'm 6 foot tall. I've been like around average 250 my entire life. Back then I was close to 200. So like, dude, you look like you just got out of jail. So yeah, no, it took that to realize, hey, wake the fuck up, man. This drug is not good for you. Yeah. And so in November 2022, you entered into drug court again for the second time.
Yeah, which is only by the grace. That's God working in my life. See, whenever, just God's timing is impeccable. When I got arrested, that's when I began to change, because I realized that prayer that I had said on 4/21 or 4/20 of 22, that prayer that I said, I was already like, I knew something was shifting. So I didn't go in. I've always been very, I don't give a fuck, I'll knock you out kind of person is who I was. I didn't go into jail fighting. I stayed out of like anything that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want no part of nothing. I started, and I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual now. And I started reading my Bible. I stayed in the Word. I was trying something different. And they had offered me, mind you, so I'd made bond for that case, but I had that 13 years in that other county, so I was up for revocation. I should have been revoked because I caught a new trafficking meth case.
Yeah.
This is how good my God is. So I'm sitting in jail and I'm like, I'm going to prison. I told my kids to get rid of things, like just go through my stuff. I'm going to be gone for a long time. And my attorney, she was like, well, what about drug court? I said, well, I'm a drug court graduate already. And she was like, okay. Oh, I'm probably going to get revoked in this other county. She said, so one of my revocation hearings, I was asking the judge, who, by the way, I got to shake his hand and sit in on his drug court this past March. And
nice.
Thank him for not revoking me. I have a picture with him and everything, because he should have revoked my ass.
Yeah.
But he said that day, if they accept you into that drug court, I won't revoke your probation here. I looked at my attorney looked at me, he said, don't you say a word. Okay. Shh. Be quiet.
Yeah.
And he didn't revoke me. I was accepted into drug court in November of 22. Now, the second time in drug court in a different county, the county that I did drug court in the second time, that is like the Harvard Yale of drug courts. They do not play with you. You know what I mean? If you want to get in a relationship, you better ask the judge. If you want to do, anything has to go through the judge. But I was already changing, so it wasn't hard. You know what I mean? I'd gotten my job back at the place that I had worked at from 2020. I started there in 2020. And when I was not a very good employee there, 21, that I'd started using. And, when I went back, I ended up becoming manager there. And I loved it there. I loved working for that company. But I knew there was a greater calling for me. I needed to do something different to get something different. So in 24, I started working, in treatment. I work in an all women's treatment facility.
Let's see. And then you said, let's see here, you worked there for 2020, 2024, got sponsored and started doing something different. Is that the treatment you said?
Well, I do AA, NA. I never believed in those programs, but I do believe that getting a sponsor and working the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous is what opened the door. I got actually truly learn myself. Because that's the first time that I really dug deep within myself. Fears, harms, resentments, things like that. That was keeping me sick, like keeping me just stuck in the muck of things, not wanting to let things go.
It says decided to work with treatment. May 2024 started working in treatment. I think you said that already. Mm-hmm. And then 2024, youngest daughter moved in with you.
Yeah, my Kirsten, she's 20 now. She moved in with me, and like I'm like, okay, one of my babies, my son didn't speak to me. He didn't speak to me the whole time I was incarcerated, and he didn't speak to me about a year after I got out. So I went in April of 22. Kane didn't speak to me until about June-ish of 23. He was hurt. I hurt my kids, and he had that right. And I'm selfish. I'm like, put your brother on the phone. He did not want to speak to me, So she moved in 24, and then I had been dating this guy. Drug court approved it. Let's just make that clear. And I had broke up with him because I really worked on myself. I just was working on myself. It wasn't, and my kids were coming back in my life. I've always chose drugs and men. Like, time to do something different. And me and her, like her moving in with me was like, that was my signs of like, I'm going in the right direction. Because it wasn't me going for them. They were wanting to come to me.
Right. So in February of 2025, you graduated drug court.
Mm-hmm. But before that, my son that didn't want nothing to do with me because he was really hurt by me, he moved in 24 with me.
Oh, okay, nice.
She moved out and he moved in.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. I didn't read that part.
I did graduate drug court February 4th of 25.
You know what? I'm very impressed that you know all these dates. She doesn't have anything written down, and she knows, like, on her notes, she just gave me years or months, and like, certain things to the date. You would definitely win full custody of your kids if you have fighting for custody with all your dates. That's what helped me. Okay, so you graduated from drug court, and then started doing the jail screenings.
So for my job, I'm blessed, and I get to be the one that goes to the jail, and they allow me, like, I go to the lawyer side. When I don't know if you've ever been to jail, but like they have a side for where the attorneys pull people, and then they have a side where, you can visit. Well, I get to go over on this side, and I get to pull women. I look up their charges, and I try to help them get treatment. I go to court on Tuesday and Thursdays. I try to help as many people as I possibly can.
What a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. March of 2026. Wait a minute. Teach me on that. The part that you say you help women. So you looked at the criminal case and.
Mm-hmm. So I work in a treatment facility which deals with substance use disorder, mental health disorders, we're dual diagnosis, and alcoholism. So, I work in treatment trying to help women get better, but also I get to go, if I go on Tuesday and Thursdays, and that's typically when I do the screenings. I try to catch them right when they get arrested, like not the day of, but within like a couple of days, because the following week they'll have court. So I go to their preliminary hearing, and the judge, she knows I work in treatment. You know what I mean? I get to stand in and be like, yes, there's a bed date. Yes, we have a bed letter. So women can, one thing I know about Andy is jails, being locked up and feeling like there's no hope, being locked up and wondering when the hell you're going to get out, because they don't tell you shit in there. They don't tell you anything. And so, like, getting to go in and give these women a glimmer of hope, I'm going to get emotional. And then them coming to treatment, whether they succeed and stay or whether they say rehab and run, I just want women to see that there's a different way. I've lived a life of chaos and destruction for years. Self-inflicted pain. And it doesn't have to be like that. So yeah. Yeah. And in my hometown jail, I can go there. They know me there. And I don't have to see them through the glass. They actually let me in the jail back into like a law box and sit in there. It's so much different getting to go to the jail and not being booked in yourself versus when you get to go and be there to help someone else see if they want treatment.
Right. Yeah. So in March of 26, you moved in in a beautiful home. Now with your 18-year-old and 20-year-old that live with you. How's that going? March was just a couple months ago. How's that going?
It's going really good. Like my daughter, when she moved out, I lived in a 1-bedroom. When I got on my feet, I started off in a shelter, and then I got my own apartment. It was a 1-bedroom apartment. I wasn't expecting my kids to come home to me. It had been 11 years. 11 years.
That's a long time.
They came into my home. So Kirsten's been wanting to be with me. So we moved in. I moved an hour from work. I drive an hour to work into this home, and my 20-year-old and my 18-year-old, they both live here. And it's beautiful. My 24-year-old, my oldest, she's a mom. She's doing her own thing. You know what I mean? But this is all I've ever wanted. All I had to do was stop using drugs. Quit selling drugs. What?
That easy?
That easy.
Oh, man. So in June of 2026, you bought your first nice car without a co-signer. Wow, look at you.
Yeah, I went and I still have an older truck, and when I moved an hour away, gas shot up to, says all of America gas, when gas got up real high, my truck was trying to take me out on gas, and so I don't have the best credit because I haven't lived the best credible life. And so I went in and I said, my credit is shit. I don't have a cosigner. Please help me. And I ended up with a 2024. God is giving me, I'm blessed. Hard work pays off. That's for sure.
Yeah. It sure does. Like there's, like I said, my story, it wasn't, obviously, even though I was, going through some shit, that's the only thing I never did was turn to alcohol and drugs. My relaxation was going to the beach. And that's like, I would stand at the pier for hours and hours. And then I never knew it, but I learned in therapy that, the color blue for some reason helps you relax. Didn't know that. So yeah, I never turned to drugs and alcohol. A buddy of mine that recently told me, like, dude, seriously, after everything, this never, because he was talking about cocaine the other day. I'm like, fool, I've never even smoked weed. Why are you going to ask me if I did cocaine? I've never even done weed. So, yeah, I never did. And, but I feel like I have friends that have, and fought to get out of the habit, I guess. And, I mean, like I said, stories like yours, I mean, hopefully that someone's listening to this that's going through something similar and that they can let go, put down the needle or drugs or whatever. Obviously, like you said, you loved your kids so much, but it was hard to put it down, to let it go, to cancel it, and to stop using drugs and stuff. So I give you props for that, because not a lot of people can you beat the odds pretty much. You know, look at your daughter's fiance. You know, you beat the odds, and you're doing something good, and now you're teaching women pretty much, but with your story, you're teaching them pretty much how they can move forward. And I'm hoping that somebody is hearing this, and can be, use your story as an example and maybe change their ways. I mean, I think we're pretty much close to the end. I'm just rambling right now. Your kids, I usually have this question for parents that have young kids. If one day their kids were to listen to this, but your kids are old enough to listen to this now. So if your kids were to listen to this now, based on your story, based on what you've gone through, a message for them, or wise words for them, or something, tell them what you want to tell them.
It would probably be 2 parts, actually. It would probably be like, always know that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that if ever they was get into a situation where they find themselves lost, or, you know, in a life of chaos, that what I've had to learn is that I've had to build a life that I no longer felt the need to escape from. And sometimes people get lost in that. And if my kids were to ever lose their way, it can all turn around. No matter what they go through, it can all turn around.
Was that both parts?
Yep.
I got your title. That's why I'm over here losing track. All right, really quick before I end this episode, you guys already know this episode is sponsored by SolarX Insurance. Fast, friendly, and affordable coverage. Ride a motorcycle or need an SR22, they have you covered. SolarX helps all drivers no matter the situation. Get a quote today and see the SolarX difference. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719, or check them out at www.slxinsurance.com and get back on the road with confidence. Jessica, any last words before I let you go?
I just really appreciate you, Andy. This was my first podcast, so I really appreciate you asking me to do this. And I too hope that someone, if they hear this, that if they are going through anything, I like to leave the acronym for HOPE. Have you ever heard the acronym for HOPE?
Give it to me.
Hold on, pain ends.
There you go. Thank
you.
Well, Jessica, like I end every podcast, thank you for riding with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.